Men accessories. Usually, men don't tend to look after such small things as accessories. And we are going to prove that's a wrong approach. Below you will find some links for accessories we recommended you to buy. Thumb up while the Be Bigger open is on. A bit of history. It's believed that wearing something besides clothes is for women. But in fact, men have been wearing accessories in all times. 100 years ago, 300 years ago and thousands of years BC. Even early hunters who lived in caves and made spearheads themselves wore accessories too. For example, a necklace made of claws of a killed bear or a piece of tiger skin, all to show their level of killing predators. And when civilization developed into crafts, even the craftsmen started wearing accessories, to say nothing of aristocrats and rich men. Accessories were quickly divided into men's and women's, as men had to show something different in their image. Of course, it was good to show themselves handsome, but wealth, status, skills, independence and finally creativity were even better. So we'll look into the most popular modern accessories, except for watches, since the topic is too wide, and we already have some videos that you can watch by clicking on the upper right corner. Rings and signal rings. Wearing a wedding ring, a pear ring or one presented by girlfriend is a sign of a certain status for man. He shows that he has serious relationship with his woman, that he has one. Well, it's also a concession to woman's comfort. When she sees the ring on your finger, it supports her morally. It means that you belong to her only. In order you could support her morally without harming your self-esteem, choose rings so that it could not only be comfortable, but also match your style. A girl may get excited seeing wings, hearts and stuff like that, but you should insist on buying something that wouldn't be hidden in your pocket due to its weakness. That's why we recommended you to pay attention to the broad range of pear rings, including wedding rings in unisex style. Or pear rings that have men's rings more brutal or strictly designed. For example, women's ring has a curved pattern, men's one is similar but smooth. Or women's ring with a piece of rose gold, and men's with a piece of white gold or blackening. Well, you will see the difference if you are interested. Men's ring may be made not only from metal, but also with some non-metal details. Wood, for example. A signet ring made of stone or wood on a man's hand may look perfect, but it doesn't always fit business suites or some special styles like military, safari or business casual. It's a sign of a freestyle in clothes. Look, if you want to look elegant, it's better to wear one ring, 2 maximum, in one style. 3 rings or different style rings are frankly for getting attention. On a business interview or a meeting, they may puzzle your HR or your partners. Some advice for men who like highlighting hands with rings or signal rings. Try to balance hands visually. If there are 2 or more rings, don't put them on one hand. If one hand has a big signal ring, it's better to wear a bracelet on the other hand. It's not a strict rule, but try and you'll see that it looks well balanced. Try not to wear gold and white gold rings together. However, they're combined models. Rings with symbols and readings look cool, sometimes even mysterious. The main thing is that these rings shouldn't be a complete surprise for you. It's strange when you show off belonging to a Masonic lodge or a prestige college that you've never heard about. Look for proportionality. On long slim fingers and small hands, big signal rings will look bearish and they will highlight small hands and finger size. On the contrary, on big hands, slim rings without decor may lose themselves visually. Bracelets. Metal bracelets for men are rarely made entirely of gold. It's too expensive and pretentious. Jewelry steel, silver and other alloys are used more often. Modern trends in men's bracelets: white, silver and blackening, and less often dark grey and black. These colors fit in the most of popular clothes styles, and it's possible to fit them in any color scheme. Besides, again, a gold bracelet or its imitation usually looks too pretentious. Of course, if a man doesn't wear suits worth an aeroplane wing, then yes, a gold thing on the wrist would be good. The main elegancy rule for a man's bracelet is that it shouldn't be completely different from the overall color scheme. And white, grey and black metals are the easiest to fit in any color of clothes. Number 2. Try not to wear a watch and a bracelet on one hand. Of course, if you don't want to amaze everybody with your provocative image. You shouldn't wear 2 metal bracelets on one hand. It's closer to women's style. And if you want to wear them on different hands, they should be in one calm color range. For example, silver and black, white, grey, etc. Leather bracelets with smooth base or braided are mainly for young men. And the more respectable you want to look, the more carefully you have to choose a leather bracelet. Leather colors should be calm and natural. There's almost the same rule. The more serious your look is, the simpler and more natural the bracelet colors are. For clubs or concerts, though, in addition to your favorite ripped jeans and a t-shirt with a print, you can wear something braided, decorated with metal, stone or bone parts, or something like that. Stone bracelets are even more popular than metal ones, but they are usually bigger and more striking, so you have to choose them more carefully. But they also add to showiness indeed. Even more ornamental stones have a huge variety of colors, and their natural texture makes every bracelet unique. It's important, comply with the compatibility of styles, it's even more important than color and form's harmony. You may wear 3 different bracelets at once, if it fits in your current image. But a classic metal bracelet doesn't fit a braided bracelet with wooden parts or beads. Decide who you are today, Mr. Classy or Wild Rocker, and try to match the look. A metal bracelet may go with a leather one, but only with both or one of them is thin. 2 big leather bracelets are too much for one hand. You look like you are hippie lost in time, and it doesn't fit everyone. It's good to know. Some respectable places and companies that require complying with the dress code are critical to leather and combined men's bracelets. Let them do it. You may change the policy when you are a head HR manager. Chains, pendants, necklaces. Fashion of men's chains has become popular shortly before the millennium moreover. In its more aggressive form, the thicker the chain is, the more effective it looks. Nowadays the trend of thick chains has clear range. First, chains should be white, silver or silver with black, but not yellow. Second, you should wear them with clothes for leisure and entertainment mainly. And if you like wearing chains every day, including work, it's better to choose a thin chain with a laconic design. Blinks, as you may know, are various pendants which go with chains, lanyards or bracelets, which is less often. There is a big variety of interesting pendants for men nowadays. Leather and metal ones, models imitating identity tags, pendants with mystical symbols, marine, arms, military symbols, zodiac signs, religious signs. It's better to wear them out of work. except for religious signs for believers, or cover them with clothes in order not to look too frivolous for a business person. But it's not obligatory for people of art, the main thing is to look stylish. And here are some recommendations about style. The closer to classic your suit is, the smaller and thinner the patterns should be. The more informal your look is, the more independent you may be with patterns, symbols, etc. Here you can wear big and combined models with color parts, several chains or lanyards or one, but with 2 or 3 patterns, big lace or braided stuff. Try to match accessories to your look. With a military costume, it will be strange to wear a vivid braided thing resembling a small dream catcher. But it'll be okay for a colorful flannel shirt or party t-shirt. For the casual style, it's better to choose something manly, but not very strict: geometry, abstraction, music, marine or mystical symbols. Patterns don't go well with sport style, so it's better to avoid them. But sport casual would be good with simple designed accessories. Share with us, what do you like wearing? Do you have favorite accessories? If you decided to buy something after watching the video, look for our recommendations below. Subscribe our channel. Click the bell to get notifications and choose a video from the left or from the right.